Hey guys, today we're going to talk about why it's not your fault,
but it is your responsibility.
Hey guys, welcome to another Mind Bright Monday. I'm your host, Bonnie Kelly, and today we are talking about why it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. So one of the things people often ask me is like, why does my life suck? Why does this situation keep happening? Why do I keep struggling with my finances or in relationship or dead-end job after dead-end job? And I get it. I totally have empathy and understanding. So I want to make sure to make that disclaimer here up front. However, I like to remind people that a lot of times why these repeated patterns show up in our life isn't actually your fault, but it is your responsibility. This is a huge part of what we teach here with my company, is to remind you that you have to take responsibility in the direction you want to go with your life. So let me break this down a little bit more. So in my book, True to Your Core, I talk in depth about this. So if you haven't got a copy yet, go onto Amazon and get this book. I promise you it's going to simplify this methodology I'm about to break down right now. So when we're growing up, we're getting conditioned. We have all of our parents and society and teachers that are conditioning us on who we are, what to believe, how to perceive, and how to show up, act, react, and interact in the world. This is how we're conditioning young humans into being big humans. Well, most of that conditioning is constructive, right? It's teaching us to be dressed in public and keep your clothes on, to brush your teeth and have good hygiene, right? To be polite and courteous. So there's a lot of really constructive conditioning. But what tends to happen unconsciously, and I say that, I doubt that it was intentional, that our parents or loved ones or our teachers meant to install a virus in our minds. But it happens. And that virus could be that I'm not enough, I'm not capable, I'm not lovable, I don't matter, I don't deserve, I'm unworthy, I'm weak, I'm stupid, I'm bad. All of these could have been conditioned in us alongside with these other conditionings to brush your teeth. And what happens then at that point is then the belief kind of lurks in and it kind of just sinks into our minds, it sinks into our bodies. And then our brain starts scanning the universe and saying, okay, world, let's see how true this is. So for example, let's say that I had an experience, and this is a true story. When I was in the 8th grade, so I was about 13 years old, I got kicked out of band. Who gets kicked out of band? This girl. So if you're a band geek, you're going to totally get this, but I was constantly in last chair, week after week after week, the whole year. I wasn't very good because, I didn't get to practice very often. And so one day the teacher, in a storm of frustration in front of everyone, just blares out, I don't get it. Why do you keep trying? You're never going to get it. It would be better for all of us if you just went down and quit. What a traumatic experience, right? Here I am mortified in front of all of my peers at 13, and my teacher telling me, you're not good enough. Now, he's not physically saying this, but my brain, my little 13-year-old brain, is accepting this as truth. Now, as I'm doing the walk of shame down the counselor's office to go quit, I'm wallowing with tears. This experience is conditioning my mind to accept this belief and says, this must be true because this just happened, okay? So now the brain's accepted this and it's like, okay, now I need to know, how true is this? How not good enough am I? Well, if you can imagine, now this belief is going to start influencing how I'm seeing and what I'm paying attention to in the world. Now, I haven't even entered into high school yet. How many opportunities do you think that this little 13-year-old girl has to perceive that she's not enough? Did you say a lot? Yeah, you're absolutely right. So now I have all of these other experiences that start to pile on to this belief, and all of a sudden this massive story of my absolute truth, that this belief becomes so powerful that I believe it as a part of my identity, right? All of this starts from an experience of a teacher who just had a bad day and just in a storm of frustration kicked me out of his class. I doubt that that teacher would want me to live out a decade of my life feeling that I wasn't enough, but that was the result from that experience. And my little brain not having any other way to perceive this, and then not knowing how to unchallenge that or to challenge that, I'm now validating that through my new experiences. So that's not my fault, okay? But now flash forward to me being in my 20s and my 30s. This belief that exists within inside of me now is actually driving my decisions. Who I date, what kind of jobs I do, what kind of business that I acquire. All of these things are stemming from this unchallenged belief that got installed on accident in my mind from 13 years old. So now, all of a sudden, I am not having the success. I'm dating people that continue to validate my worthlessness. I am only seeking jobs that continue to validate my worthlessness. I'm in debt because it continues to validate my worthlessness. So now I'm in this cycle of self-sabotage that all stems from this core belief. So this is why I say it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. So as an adult, as a person that decided to do something different with her life and make the change into having the success, to having the life, to having the friends, to having the husband that I desire, I had to go back and untangle this belief that existed and remained in power and was hindering my conscious and unconscious decisions in life. So all of that takes a lot of work. And in fact, you're going to need help. So I encourage you to grab a copy of my book, get that brain started, identify where in your life that this part of, if you don't have something you like, where in your history has conditioned you to keep repeating that. And then start to do the work to untangle that. Now, if that book isn't enough, which I promise you it's going to kickstart it, but you're probably going to need some more accountability, then you've got to check out our programs. We have a year-long program to help people just like you completely rid their lives of all of that garbage that accidentally is ruining their happiness. And then you can join us live. We have a 2-day event coming up in Sacramento, California that is all around this topic. It is all about figuring out why your life is limited and how to unleash your awesome. It's coming up February 11th and 12th, and it is so powerful to have that experiential event to be able to bust through all of these limitations and step into your best life. All right, so that was a long tangent, I know, and that is exactly what I wanted to share with you today into making sure that you recognize that it's not your fault, but gosh darn it, it is your responsibility. If you want a better life, take action. If you want to have improvement, better relationships, take action. And it starts with the reflection within yourself. What is going on within me that continues to perceive, that continues to attract, that continues to validate or to repeat this pattern? When we start with the inward investigation, it gives you the room to start changing outward experiences. So I hope that this has encouraged you this week. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to connect with us. You can friend, follow, Snapchat, poke us on all social media platforms. We're here for you every step of the way. Until next week, I'm Bonnie Kelly. Hey guys, as I mentioned, we have this amazing event coming up in Sacramento, California on February 11th and 12th at the DoubleTree Hotel. This is the most powerful program to help you just be done with this limiting thoughts of not being enough, not being worthy, not being capable, and helping you detangle them in an interactive environment that is safe and encouraging for you to just break through that and unleash your awesome. To find out more about that event, click any of the links below, and don't forget to share it on social media with your friends who you know need this awesome too. All right, until next time, I'm Bonnie Kelly.